Hey everybody, so I just got back from seeing Captain America Civil War. Went to a pre-screening of it, pretty packed house for it. Yeah, this is the start of the summer movie season. It's a big time for if you're a movie fan. It's always the one of the big blockbusters come out. It's always a big time of year. Before I actually get into the review, I do want to mention I have talked about my last couple of reviews that uh, Purple Rain it was being re-released into my movie theater, and I was planning on seeing it. Well, I did go see it a couple days ago, and I actually did record a review for it. Well, unfortunately, when I went to upload it, uh, I found out somehow my video file got corrupted, and because of that, I wasn't able to upload it. It was completely lost. I could not find it anywhere on my computer. It's completely gone. I don't know what happened to it. Uh, it really sucks. It's actually like that little review I did to the point I did not want to do another one for it. So here, I'll tell you right now what my brief thoughts, were on Purple Rain. I liked it. um, it wasn't a perfect film. It's not. It's a movie I definitely enjoyed, or like did not regret seeing. It's first and foremost a vanity project. It was. That was made for Prince and only for Prince, and it is a movie that like really showcased the talent of Prince as a musician. Like if you're like somebody like me who didn't grow up on him, but you knew about Prince and everything else, you didn't know a whole lot about him. Like this is a good movie for you to watch because you see how talented you realize how talented this motherfucker was. He was really talented as a musician. His stage presence, his charisma, his musical ability, his guitar ability. He was amazing on the guitar. It's just prevalent throughout this whole movie. Now, as far as his acting goes, not so much. But I mean, he wasn't the worst acting I've ever seen. Trust me, not even close. He still had a screen presence about him, and had a charisma that did help carry him in the movie. But his acting wasn't that great, or not the greatest. But he was never going to win an Oscar for anything. But that's as far as my review for shit. Hold on a second. Holy crap! What the hell? Give me 1 second. I had a bug just fly like on my computer screen. Anyways, that's as far as my review for Purple Rain goes. Now, let's get into Captain America Civil War. That's what everybody wants me to talk about. I've been looking forward to this movie like I do with every other Marvel movie. I've said it more than a few times. I love all the Marvel movies. They have not disappointed me up to this point. I even though there have been ones that not as good as others, I still like them all. And this one looked just as good, and it's been getting great reviews. Really, really good reviews. Like some of the best of the whole Marvel universe, cinematic universe. Up there with like Avengers and Guardians and second Captain America. So yeah, this movie was great. It's a great movie. Bye. That's a bit. I'm just joking. I'm not. If I were to be honest, this is not being hyperbole. That's easy for me to say. This is not hyperbole at all when I say this. That this was one of the best comic book movies I've seen in a long goddamn time, maybe ever. And definitely one of the best Marvel movies ever made. I still kind of hold Guardians of the Galaxy close to my heart. That movie worked for me on almost every level. But this movie is up there with like Avengers, Captain America's Winter Soldier, and Guardians as one of the best Marvel movies I've seen to date. This movie was so good. The acting in this movie is phenomenal. Like everybody pretty much at this point has like just owned their roles. Like they're very good. Like to the point that I hate harking on this a lot, but I have a feeling I will throughout this review, that this movie has a lot of the same themes that Batman vs. Superman did, and that it tries to show the consequences that superheroes, of having superheroes in our world, and how even though there's a lot of positives, like they save a lot of people and stuff like that, they also cause a lot of destruction and they cause a lot of death and everything else. And because the beginning of this movie, the catalyst for all the events, all these events that take place during this movie, there's a disaster that happens inadvertently because of one of the Avengers, where a lot of people die, and because of that, uh, you know, the government takes a step back and goes, "Wait a minute, we need to start controlling these motherfuckers," and because of that, like it deals with a lot of the themes like Batman vs Superman did, but does a hell of a lot fucking better. One of the big reasons why it does it a lot better is that you can understand the motivations behind these characters. These characters have been established through many, many films to the point that you know these characters almost in and out. To the point that you're like, they don't do anything that you would not expect this character to do, like Captain America or Iron Man. You understand their motivations. You understand where they're coming from. Honestly, in a lot of parts of this movie, you can't tell who's the right and who's wrong. And that's something I couldn't say for Batman versus fucking Superman. There were a lot of points of Batman versus Superman I'm sitting there like, why is Batman doing this? Why is Superman doing this? Why are anybody doing anything? Why are they fighting? You understand why Captain America and Iron Man are fighting by the end of this movie. You absolutely do. It's right there. It's not very fucking complicated like Batman vs Superman, where it makes no sense that they're fighting at all. This movie, the story just had me from beginning to end. Like, especially towards the end of this movie, it hits you really hard. Oh my god! Like, there's a twist in this movie that just it was like my jaw dropped. Like at the very end of the movie, like that you were like, damn, it hit me hard. Because I was so emotionally invested in everything that was going on in this movie. I don't want to get into spoilers of what happens. It's something that is revealed. Let's just say something is revealed about Bucky, because the whole movie is, if you've seen the trailers, is about Bucky Barnes and them Captain America trying to keep Bucky Barnes away from, or the Avengers from capturing Bucky Barnes, because they most likely intend to kill him, and he doesn't want that to happen. He's been basically framed for something he didn't do, and at the end of the movie, Jesus Christ, is you you think the thing's over and like everything's been resolved, and honestly that that's one thing I'll give this movie credit, is that like when they stop fighting, there's a valid reason why they're stopped fighting, and but then something happens towards the end of this movie. It's really hard to explain. It's just, good God, like it blurs the line between who's a good guy and who's a bad guy, and like to the point at the end of the movie, like I didn't know who the fuck to root for. It's really hard to get into without. I love the relationship between Bucky Barnes and Captain America. Like it's very solid, like relationship that like it's been established to the point that like you understand why Captain America is risking his life to try to save this poor guy who's been his best friend, who was basically just turned and brainwashed into the super soldier that killed a lot of people, and it's amazing little film. Damn it. What else I want to talk about? Oh, the fight scenes in this movie are fucking fantastic. Oh my god, the fight scenes, especially at the end of the movie, it has one of the best fight sequences I've seen since the Avengers. Maybe even better than the Avengers. I'm gonna flat out say it. Like, I love the final battle of the Avengers, but I think there's a scene in this movie that's way better than. It's where Team Captain America versus Team Iron Man meet head to head, and it's fucking amazing. It's everything you would ever want it to be, and it also has some really bad consequences to it. Like the fighting that ensues, it gets pretty violent. Let's just say, and some really bad things happen, especially to one character. They don't die, but something really bad happens. That's all I'm gonna say. Um, and that was refreshing when like just you start seeing the repercussions of what happened, like that you do see bad repercussions throughout this thing. Um, and like I said, the battle between all the superheroes, it's fucking amazing, and it's really well done, and like it's really really good. Like it's one of the things I do want to talk about is Spider-Man. I have to talk about this Spider-Man. It was one of the things that a lot of people were talking about when I was leaving the theater. Honestly, it was probably the number one thing people were talking about was the new Spider-Man. Now, that was one. Spider-Man was one of the things I was really looking forward to. I was so happy that Marvel finally got the rights to him, and I love Spider-Man like a lot of people do, and I I just to tell you how emotionally invested I was in this movie. It's just like going in, I was really looking forward to like how he was going to be integrated into the film. As motivated, like how invested I was into this movie. Like when he pops up, like he gets introduced, like the Peter Parker character gets introduced. I went, holy shit, Peter Parker is in this movie. I was like, oh yeah, he is in this movie. Spider-Man's in this movie. Yay! Like you kind of like, holy shit! And it's perfect. Honestly, this should make so many comic book fans so happy. Their treatment of Spider-Man in this film. Um, Now, I wouldn't say like he's the best Spider-Man ever. That's still up in the air because, like somebody says, we walked out of the theater. I'll wait until the movie comes out before I make that judgment. But he could be one of the best Spider-Mans. This kid is really good. I really wish they could have got Andrew Garfield to do it again. I thought he did a really good job. Up to this point, was the best Spider-Man. Was better than Tobey Maguire, and he. But if this kid is any indication, he's gonna fit in this role really well. He is like a teenage kid, like in the comic books, and he is in the battle of the superheroes at the end of the movie. He isn't a good chunk of this movie. He's not like a big role. He doesn't have a role into this movie until like probably halfway through it. But he is in a lot of this movie, and he has a lot of kick-ass moments. You get to see him, fighting Captain America, fighting Ant-Man, fighting it's so awesome. Like, and he has all these little wisecracks, and one of the best parts is that he's like geeking out as he's fighting them. Like he's, oh my god, it's Captain America! Like he's legitimately like geeking out about it while Captain America's punching him in the face. It's kind of fucking hilarious, and I really enjoyed that. I have very high hopes with this Spider-Man. I really hope they really do a good job with him. And also, I hope to God that Tony Stark or Iron Man is in the next Spider-Man movie, because when you get introduced to Peter Parker, it's a scene where basically Tony Stark goes over to his house and greets him and his Aunt May, who's played by Marissa Tomei, which is awesome. And and the interaction between Peter Parker and Tony Stark is one of the best things about this whole goddamn movie. Like, I could watch a whole movie, a whole like a buddy movie between Spider-Man and Iron Man any day of the week. That would be amazing. Seriously, Hollywood, make that happen. That would be amazing. I hope like they can get like maybe Tony or Robert Downey Jr. to sign on for more films, because that would be amazing. Spider-Man was really good in this movie. I really like. I can't say that enough about it. I wasn't sure about the look of him when I saw the trailer, but I still would have preferred that they would have saved his reveal until the movie came out. That would have been a nice surprise, because you would not kind of guessed where he would have been in this movie. Because when you see him in the suit, it's. And also, I really like the fact that he is Spider-Man. He's not. There's no origin story. He's been Spider-Man for like 6 months. He explains, or something like that. He's already had this bitten by a radioactive spider. He already has the spider powers. Everything else. There you go. You don't have to have a fucking origin story anymore. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what else I want to talk about. The end credit scene. Honestly, the end credit scene you could kind of throw away. Because I should talk about Black Panther too. Black Panther. I don't know much about the character, but this movie kind of does just pretty much gives you the origin story. Like, does a very short synopsis of the origin story of Black Panther, and so they pretty much sets him up enough so that you can kind of, they give you enough of an origin story that you don't need one for when they do the actual movie, which is coming up sometime soon. That you can just go right into the character. And I Chadwick Boseman is amazing. He's really good. I liked him as Black Panther, and I'm really excited to see him do it. The more you see this character, isn't the guy made Creed, Ryan Coogler, is directing it, ain't he? If he is, that's great. I can't wait. That'll be awesome. I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah, the movie made me want to see more of him. Definitely did. Damn, this is gonna be a really long review, by the way. Shit. Also, I'm thinking. I forget what. God damn it, I forget what else I want to talk about. Also, I'm like, this movie, I'm interested in where this movie goes from here, like the series goes from here, because of like how this movie ends. Ends in a very bad place. This movie's pretty goddamn dark. It is also very funny. Like, the fight scene in this movie is pretty damn funny. Even though it has some serious consequences towards the end. There's something else I'm thinking I'm forgetting, and I'm really... Oh, I do know, now I know. Daniel Bruhl in this movie is fucking amazing. He's the main villain in this movie, and Daniel Bruhl is terrifying in this thing. He is really good in this thing. Like, probably the best villain, one of the best villains in this Marvel Cinematic Universe I can think of. He was really goddamn good. This guy, I've only seen him 2 or 3 movies, and he continues to impress me. This guy needs to be in more things. He is the catalyst to pretty much tearing this group, the Avengers, apart, basically. He is the reason why they end up just being torn apart completely, especially at the end. And his motivations is just you can understand his motivations, and you kind of can see maybe that he's not that bad of a guy, but he does kill a lot of people. Man, he was really good in this movie. Also, like I said, the end credit scenes, basically all they are is they set up Black Panther and the Black Panther movie and the new Spider-Man movie. There's one in the mid credits, which sets up Black Panther movie, and the one at the end credits sets the Spider-Man movie. Although I was hoping maybe they would kind of hint at who the villain is. They don't. So that kind of sucks. But yeah, I'm really excited for the future of Marvel, what they're going to do with this. I'm interested where they're going with this. I pretty much predicted that, like, before this movie came out, like, they're just going to be completely torn apart, and it's probably not going to be until Thanos comes in that everybody has to join up together to fight this motherfucker. Because I hear, like, people have told me, so you think it's gonna get dark in it's dark in Civil War? Wait till you get to Infinity Wars, which I can't wait. They said shit gets real. People have told me it's like shit should get real very quickly. I'm interested in where this series goes from here. Really am. I can't highly recommend this any more than I am right now. Go see it. If you, I'm sure you are, anyways. If you're watching this review, just go see it. Dude, I'm just telling you that right now. Like, I hope you maybe didn't watch the movie, then did watch my review. As far as trailers, I got a shitload of them. I gotta try to get through them quickly here. So, I got Doctor Strange. I haven't seen this trailer yet. I waited until I saw it in the theaters. I'm kind of glad I did, because I saw it in 3D. Holy shit, the 3D in this trailer was amazing. I seriously recommend that you see this trailer in 3D. It's amazing. Like, if anything else, this movie will be an amazing 3D movie. I think it'll be good. I don't know much about Doctor Strange. It's one of those comic book heroes I'm like, I don't know anything about him. I don't know what people have told me. It sounds really interesting. It looks like a mindfuck of a movie. It's got Benedict Cumberbatch, Tilda Swinton, bald. That's awesome. I love that woman. She's something else. And you got Rachel McAdams, and you also got the director of Sinister directing it, so that should be great. I'm looking forward to it. Kubo and the Two Strings. That's the title of the movie. It's a new Leica movie from the people that made Paranorman, Coraline, stuff like that. The stop motion animation group, the production company. This is a new one where a kid has superpowers through a banjo that they had. Whenever he plays a banjo, he releases his superpowers or something. I don't know. It's really weird. It's like any of their movies. It's pretty weird, and it looks pretty. The animation looks really good. I'm looking. It should be good. I'm not gonna diss it at all. It looks. I've liked all their movies up to this point. I didn't like Box Trolls that much, but I liked everything else up to this point, other than Box Trolls. X-Men Apocalypse. I got a new trailer for that. This is the one that had the tease of maybe Wolverine being in the movie. That was kind of cool. I'm looking forward to it. It looks. I don't know how good it's going to be compared to. Probably not as good as Captain America: Civil War, but it could be good. It's another Bryan Singer X-Men movie, so I have high hopes. The Shallows. I got a new trailer for that. Now, this trailer is really good. Actually, for most part, this trailer is really good. It was kind of effective. It was kind of eerie. It had no music. It was showing her getting attacked by a shark. Blake Lively gets stuck on a rock and there's sharks, circling around her. I was like, that sounds like a good idea. But it shows more of the plot where she goes swimming or goes surfing and gets attacked by a shark, and then she has to go on this rock. But what killed it for me was in this trailer was that horrible CGI shark that jumps out of the water to attack one of her fellow surfers. That was hilarious. I laughed out loud. I'm like, that was ridiculous, movie. That was ridiculous. But, I don't know. That shark is maybe a lot bigger than it fucking should be, too. It's, unrealistic, too. And the last trailer I got was a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. Again, I could not care less about this movie at all. didn't see the first one because I am a big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan, and I didn't see the first one because it looked like shit. And I heard it was shit, and this one looks like shit. So there you go. That's as far as that goes. And go see Captain America: Civil War. I'll be back next week with Money Monster. And until then, I'll talk to you guys later.